Welcome to our Jolly Outhouse Lounge Christmas special. I'm Chris Cordani, your host. We're going to talk about some of our favorite Christmas classics, maybe some of yours as well. If we miss some, don't forget to put them in the comments. If you like what we talk about or you don't like what we're talking about, I want to hear it too. But I want to make it festive and fun, so I brought some friends along. I'm very happy to have with me to talk some of our finest holiday music. Nancy Quatro Glass, rock maven, singer, former lead vocalist for Cradle and many other great bands. We have Lieutenant Colonel retired Tony Shaffer, host of The Hard Truth radio show, noted whistleblower, all-around good guy, and walking thesaurus, also president of Project Sentinel.
Retired spy.
That's right.
Retired spy.
I just figured I couldn't say that because if I told you, then you'd have to kill us all. That would put a damper on the Christmas special.
Aww.
I have Elizabeth Breckenkamp. She is also the co-host of the Truth Central, voice actress, and you'll be seeing her on a lot more things in the future as well. Dawn Parry, creator of the Legacy Chart, producer and presenter of several radio shows, and on 365 Radio. Also with us is Jeremey Kennedy, cool guy and co-host of the Totally Rad 80s podcast, one of my favorites. We had the guys on before. We had all you guys on before. Now we're going to have some fun with Christmas music. So first off, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and whatever you want to celebrate.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas from the UK.
Happy Hanukkah.
It's a nice. Let's put a little atmosphere on this for all of us who are watching on YouTube. There we go.
Oh, that's a nice tree. Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do the roaring fire because maybe the Yule log will get upset at me. That's a different story.
Better than Yule Brenner.
Yes, Yule Brenner on fire. Yeah,
that's right. Yule log, Yule Brenner. There's a distinct difference there. So.
Well, I find chess matches more intriguing than Yule Brenner. Wait a minute, that's a different song. All right, anyway, different holiday.
I get my kicks above the waistline, sunshine.
Oh my gosh.
So I guess you're not Eric Swalwell when it comes to a North Korean spies.
Oh my!
With Chinese spy. It's Chinese spy. There we go. Anyway,
it's all connected somehow.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go to this. We have a lot of look. Every Christmas time, I love hearing Frank Sinatra sing Jingle Bells, or perhaps Elvis sing the classics. But let's talk about some of our favorites. I mean, there were a lot of great new classics from the 50s onward that became part of our lives and American, British, and sometimes world culture. Let's talk about some of those. Let's see. Who do I go with first? Nancy, how about you? What are a couple of your favorites?
One of my big favorites is Elvis Presley doing I'll Be Home for Christmas.
That's classic.
I really do love Bing Crosby's White Christmas. I mean, these are all what I heard in my childhood. So probably that's why. And I do love the traditional Christmas music. So when an artist comes out and kind of does their thing with it, and I think it sucks.
Sometimes it does suck. We have to admit it. It's a jolly Christmas special, but sometimes when an artist tries to do a classic or maybe tries to put too much of a spin on it, it's not very good.
Yeah. There's some things I think you just can't tamper with, for me, for how I like to hear it. The music is so subjective anyway. You know, someone else on here could absolutely love what whoever does with something, and I'm in my head going, ew. You know, it really is just what makes your heart float, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
That's how I
know what you mean. Like, so many different people have done their own versions of Santa Baby.
Yeah.
And they're okay, but I recently went back to Eartha Kitt, you know, the very first video.
Oh, yeah.
Man, she's just so sultry. Her voice is just so unusual. It's like a distinctive. I love her voice. Yeah.
Very exotic.
But I never really knew all the words until I was really looking at the lyrics. And it's like, I love that song. I like it even more.
You know, it was fun when Victoria Jackson did a cover of that for the Saturday Night Live. One of those years when it was funny.
That was funny.
That was the 1985 season.
Oh, wow.
Helena Faith has just released a new version of Santa Baby. And I think the real test is when they release a live version of it, which is what she's done. She did it on the BBC live, just
went off like that. It's fabulous. It's really very, very good. But she, again, like so many other singers, has a very distinctive sound, and so it does seem to work.
Mm-hmm.
But
she really made that song. Is it amazing? I don't care who else tries to do it their own way. It's just not the same.
The backup singers also make it very authentic. They kind of get eliminated in the Madonna version and some others. But hey, again, you're right. Eartha Kitt's the one for me on this one.
Yeah,
absolutely. And she was smoking and sultry anyway, so
especially in Batman.
Yeah.
Meow.
She was the best Catwoman, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I did like her. Yeah, she was pretty cool. Dawn, let's get to. I wanted to say this one for you, but before we get to Tony and Jeremy, you have a special story about one of your favorites.
Actually, I do. Did I give that away already? Gosh.
Well, no, only to me off the air, but I had to do the intro because I'm hosting this.
Right. Okay. Well, yes, I do. As you know, Chris, I work each week. I work with Steve Lillywhite, and Steve produced one of the finest of all time, I think, Christmas records, Fairy Tale of New York.
Pokes.
And, very sadly, Shane MacGowan has passed away just a couple of weeks ago. And of course, Kirsty died. In fact, the anniversary of Kirsty's death, I think it comes up in a few days, the 18th of December. So it's an emotional thing for him as well. But nonetheless, we were laughing our socks off about one of the versions that somebody had, not just the audacity, but the indignity to even attempt to do Fairy Tale of New York.
Is this the one where I heard two really wimpy millennial type singers do a version of this while I was shopping somewhere? And not only was it insultingly sappy, they took out the all-important second verse because they didn't want to offend anybody. Is that what we're talking about here?
No.
So there's a worse one.
The BBC changed the original version and removed one of the words, faggot, because it was deemed as it shouldn't be there. But I mean, within the context of the song, it's correctly there because she was angry in it. And the lyrics took Shane said they took him over 2 years to write the lyrics. He kept going back to it and recrafting it and so on. Anyway, no, it is in fact the cheek and the self-belief and vanity of John Bon Jovi, who not only did his own version of Fairy Tale of New York, but he chose to do it both parts himself. Who does a duet on their own with themselves playing the other part? He did the whole lot. And it is awful when you compare that to the original version. It's just like, what were you on? Who told you this would work? Because it so doesn't. It's just awful. There we go. That's my little Fairy Tale of New York, the one I love, with of course the Pogues and the wonderful, beautifully talented as well, Kirsty MacColl, and the awful one, John Bon Jovi. All of you, whatever shows you've got that you do on radio, please put it on. You'll laugh all the way through it.
Oh, I don't know if I could hear that, but Tony,
yeah.
Any Yuletide? What are a couple of your Yuletide favorites, if you will?
I've got a lot. So I wanted to start off by asking a question because apparently the BBC is out to change things. Are they going to remove trans from the Trans-Siberian Orchestra? Because that's.
We call it.
I'm just asking. I don't know. I don't know these things. That would be interesting.
Somebody.
Yeah. So anyway, no, I love some of their music. I think that the other instrumental group I like is Mannheim Steamroller, which has some really great Christmas tunes, which I always enjoy hearing.
Yeah, they're good.
And then back to the Sublime. One of my favorite videos I actually do enjoy watching every Christmas of the season is Bing Crosby and David Bowie. I think they do an amazing job together of Little Drummer Boy and what was the other song? There's two of them they sang together.
It was an original.
Peace on Earth, Little Drummer Boy.
Yeah, that was for the show.
Yeah.
Peace on Earth.
It was good.
And so I've always thought that was good. It's kind of a generational thing too,
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought it would have been great if you could have got Bing Crosby to do Ashes to Ashes with him as a duet, but he wouldn't do that. I don't know why. You have seen Ashes to Ashes, right? It's a great video. Major Tom and all that. No, I'm serious. You guys ought to check it out. I think Bing Crosby would have been great doing a Bowie song like, Fashion or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm digressing. I shouldn't do, obviously.
I would say that.
Well,
Jeremy.
anyway, the other guy I like hearing a lot about, and he's gotten a lot of trouble because it's misogynist now, is Dean Martin.
Yeah.
I'm friends with Dina Martin.
Love him.
And Dina does a lot of his songs, but Dean Martin does a ton of Christmas songs. He had, my goodness, he's got a whole list of them. White Christmas, Jingle Bells, I'll Be Home for Christmas, Blue Christmas, Let It Snow, A Marshmallow World, which is actually a good song, Silver Bells, Winter Wonderland, The Thing We Did Last Summer, which is like, well, this is winter, so I guess you can reflect on that, and Silent Night. So those are all, I think, great songs from from Dean Martin, and especially the one about when you're drinking, Let It Snow. Is that the one where it's like he's trying to get the girl drunk
outside, right? Yeah, Baby It's Cold
Outside.
Outside.
Baby It's Cold Outside. Yeah.
Yes.
I like that song.
So
again, millennials ruined that one.
Yes, they did.
Oh boy,
there's nothing wrong with that song.
We're counting on Gen Z to bring this back.
Well, let me just ask a question about that. If you're a guy and a gal and you're both attractive and it's snowing, why not get drunk and enjoy the snow? I don't understand what the issue is here. I mean, what?
Not only that, it was coy flirting from that era.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, that's the whole point of the song. It was like an innocent flirting. Maybe just a half a drink more. Baby, it's cold outside. You don't have to leave. I really got to leave. No, you don't. It's like, it's just flirting. It's like, yeah, way too many people just take it out of context. It's like, that's sexist. No, it's not. You people are idiots. You don't understand the point of the way they wrote the song. And remember the movie Elf, when Will Ferrell played Buddy the Elf, and he goes into the bathroom, he doesn't realize that girl has taken a shower, and he's singing that. They're singing the song back and forth until she realizes, Zoe Deschanel, I think that's how you say her last name. She's like, oh my gosh, he's in the bathroom, but they're singing that. And it's such a cute little scene right there. Anyway. And then until he runs out and bangs his head.
It's no worse than Susan Gibson, the politician in Virginia, having a duet with her husband when they talk about proctology. Just saying, yes.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's a good one. Boy, she's never going to live that one down. How about that?
Susanna Gibson in Christmas. I'm sure she has her own song for,
That's right.
So Jeremy,
nude around the Christmas tree. So it's great.
So Jeremy, driving down riding on the sleigh with your one horse pulling it or something like that. What do you like to listen to during the holiday season?
Well, everyone's kind of going in a conventional pathway here, and I'm okay with that too. I mean, just like everybody else, the music is inevitable. It's all around you. But I think as far as remakes, the best remake that I've heard, not talking of the originals. The originals are the originals. They're that's the upper echelon. I'm not going to touch them. But as far as remake of an American traditional, rather, I would say probably Winter Wonderland by the Eurythmics always catches me. Whatever I'm doing, I stop and listen because it has
the Eurythmics.
Yes, it's a great new wave feel to it. And Dave Stewart, he is away with noise and sound, and he takes that song and actually drives you through a winter wonderland. If you listen to it, you hear the cracking of the leather against the horse and the snow coming down. I know it's like, how does snow have a sound? Well, just listen to that song. And Annie Lennox, love her or hate her, she nails it on this song and makes it better than any version I've ever heard before. So that would be as far as my traditional song. And then if I had to list my absolute favorites, they would all be probably songs you don't know. Maybe satellite radio may have touched them, but otherwise most people would never know them. Like I'm a very new wave student, meaning I've come from the 80s of the class of alternative post-punk, new wave, that sort of thing. Like Chris and I are feeding from the same tree most of the time. I like Father Christmas. And I'm sure you may know that. What was that guy's name?
The Kinks, yes. I have one I think you'll like, and Tony, I think you'll like this one too. Dawn, I'm sure you remember this classic. Oops, that's the wrong one. Oh, what a moron! I put for those of you who are watching, I'm trying to do this while I'm. We're trying to do this as we're live, but I like my Captain Sensible's One Christmas catalog. That's a neat song. That's
my top three.
A full original but neat song.
I don't think I've heard that. I have to check it out.
I don't think I have. Yeah.
It's
Fantastic. Yeah.
It's crack.
It's quite good.
Captain Sensible is not sensible. He's crackers.
Very true.
So, it's funny you should mention new wave, and see, I'm going more into dark wave lately, and I've been looking for like a Clan of Zymol doing a Christmas song, which I don't think they did.
Clan of Zymox. There's a band.
Zymox, yeah, Zymox. Sorry, yeah.
They're from Holland, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, they're back together, aren't they?
They are back together. That's why I found them. So yeah.
What is it? Clan of what?
Clan of Zymox.
XYMOX.
Yeah.
And for a brief period in the 80s, they were just simply known as Zymox, but their true traditional name was Clan of Zymox. But it's kind of a dark wave. Yeah.
Oh.
But they had a few.
So it's a Dutch musical group. Okay.
It's great to fly helicopters at the nap of the earth level. And you guys think I'm joking about that too?
No, I don't. I wouldn't even know. No, I know you're not joking. And again, if you want to have a little fun here, I remember. Remember when we used to sing "Jingle Bells, Batman Smells" when we were kids?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's a great version of that on the Mojo Nixon and the Toad Lickers album, "Horny Holidays." The one if you're watching.
Oh my god.
That was it has loads of classics. They did a cover of what was it? Sleigh Ride. They did Boogie Woogie Santa Claus. They also did now it was silly most of it, but they actually did a very good rendition of Every Day's Like a Holiday. Every Day's Like a Holiday. That's a good one too.
And what are they called again?
Well, Mojo Nixon and his band, the Toad Lickers. At least his band at the time. And it's spelled Toad Lickers, Liquors. The classic album was from the early 90s.
So it's spelled like Susie and the Banshees. Like
That's
Susie.
right.
It would be like a remake with Susie and the Badgers.
Okay, there we go.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Now, I have to ask you guys, there are a couple of songs that I just, I can't stand anymore. I'm sorry. I want to throw this around and have a little fun with it. I want to roast some of the Christmas songs that maybe you either like or don't like. There's a couple. If I never have to hear Grandma got run over by a reindeer again, I would be very happy. Thoughts?
I was thinking of that song as we started the show. It's like, I hope he doesn't bring it up.
Yeah, well, I did.
Here we are.
Is it a popular one in the US?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Gosh, everybody wants another run.
It's like a couple of redneck kids got together and wrote the song. It was funny the first time I heard it, and then after that, it's like, yeah, you don't have to play it again.
Yeah, and they made a movie out of that, I think, too, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
At least a cartoon.
Yeah, there is a cartoon. Yeah.
All right.
It sounds much better after you've had a fifth of Jack Daniels. I think it grows on you. So.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know, but it's definitely like a redneckish kind of which isn't a bad thing, if you're that's your the kind of music.
No, I live in North Carolina, and a lot of folks are from
Yeah.
So
the first time was fun, and then after that, it's like, yeah, you don't have to play that again. Pretty much the Christmas music that I don't like, that I find very annoying, is anything with Alvin and the Chipmunks, because I can't stand that voice. Oh gosh, it's just annoying. Yeah.
Ross Bagdasarian, yes.
So maybe we're slightly more discerning with the Christmas music that gets played then here.
I don't think so. I'm challenging you on this one because the British came up with one of the worst. Okay, this might be sacrilegious for you all, but tell me this: it is Wonderful Christmas Time not horrible? Because I love Paul McCartney. I just cannot stand listening to Wonderful Christmas Time. And worse, what kind of children take a full year? They have to practice a full year to sing "Ding Dong, Ding Dong, Ding Dong."
Every time I hear that, I tell Michelle, I said, they must be really, really bad.
Yeah, the short bus chorus, if you will.
I don't know. I've never even considered it as offending my ears or giving me ear fatigue, or I've just never considered it. Actually, I just kind of think, well, it's a Christmas song, it's another one. But yeah. So what is it that really gets on your nerves about it, Chris?
Well, first the kids, definitely the ding dong part. All right. I mean, just the fact that the kids take a full year to sing it, and it's too busy. But again, I'm not a music critic. I'm just a guy who's trying to host
a show about music critics.
There you go. You guys are the music critics. I'm probably disqualifying myself, and probably every Beatles fan is going to hate me now.
Do you play music? Do you play an instrument? Do you play any musical?
Yeah, all the brass instruments.
You do?
Yes.
And you still don't like the ding dongs.
No. And it doesn't make
like the ding dongs.
And it still wouldn't
unless
make me
they're the chocolate-filled kind that you can buy in the grocery store.
That's right.
Unless it's in the film that goes ding dong. Yeah. His moustache, he twiddles as a ding dong every time he sees a pretty girl. I can't remember what was his name, Dickie something or other. The actor, classic actor. Anyway, so you don't like it, okay? I'm kind of everybody else.
What about you?
I'm kind of there with you with the Beatles and that Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time. Never was a fan of that song. Like if you took away the lyrics and the voice and just played the music itself, the instrumentation is nice. If you just didn't or change the words completely. But yeah, I think the words are kind of silly. Yeah.
That is true. The 70s had some great synth because it was really all experimental by then or around then. Yeah.
The Beatles are okay. I can take them or leave them. I'm not a huge fan, but they're all right.
I'm a huge fan.
I like the Beatles.
Love them.
There are a few songs theirs I do like.
I still think we ought to get together as a group and do the album cover of Band on the Run. I love that album cover.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that was actually good.
I think that would be a good one. I do like John Lennon's "Happy Christmas, War is Over." I mean, I do like it.
I get the feeling that I want to go sit and smoke patchouli and put Birkenstocks on when I hear that song.
Smoking patchouli. Yeah.
I'm painting such an image, darling.
If you do that, Tony, would you take a picture, please, and post it?
Sure.
Yes. Can we then please share it all across our social media?
You're not going to jump out of a parachute on that with that outfit, though, are you, Tony?
No, I'm wearing my Cherie Curry's Christmas shirt today.
That's a very nice Christmas tree you got there.
I sent her a picture of it earlier. She said, that's a copy. It's like, yeah, I know. I wish I could have paid you for it.
Yeah. Oh man, I think her and her sister, Cherie Curry, and her sister Marie did a Christmas song too.
They did. Yep. I got their T-shirt.
Yeah.
It's a good song. She also did one with Lita Ford, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Jeremy, do you have I just want to ask Jeremy because we're all talking. He's awfully quiet. Are there any Christmas songs that you really don't like that you don't want to ever hear again?
Rob, I think Chris nailed one earlier. The Paul McCartney song, not too great. Although I love 80s synthesizers, and that song, drives it with that one note, pew, pew, the entire time. That's my cue to soak it up. But when it comes to the lyrics, you might want to tone it back down again. And it's not that I hate it. I really don't hate hardly any song that I can think of. I absolutely hate it, but I do find it to be a little annoying. And as I have friends on the other side who think that Do They Know It's Christmas from Band-Aid is like the worst Christmas song ever recorded. And I'll ask why, because I think it's fantastic. And they say, well, yeah, but listen to the lyrics, tonight, thank God it's them instead of you, talking about, suffering, death and starvation.
Yeah.
Oh.
In context, they're saying in context, they're saying be grateful.
Exactly.
And try to give.
Right.
That's all they're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, didn't I read that, and Don, you could maybe add to this. Did I read that Bob Geldof and Bono had a little head-to-head about that lyric, whether it was going to be used or taken in or left in?
They've had more than a little head-to-head occasionally.
Oh my.
They're both, actually, they're both quite diva-ish in their manner. There's no doubt about that. Both incredibly headstrong. But where Bono is... he's very funny. He's very, very clever. One of the smartest chaps you're likely to ever come across. Very, very bright, very clever. But you always get the feeling that nobody actually really knows it, but obviously a few do. And then there is Bob Geldof, and he's quite different. Bob Geldof is very in your face. He's an angry Irishman, and he's going to tell the fucking world he's an angry Irishman. And that's his sort of, that's the way that he. That's just how he is. So yeah, and of course they're both from Ireland. So their head-to-heads are more than one. And yes, I think there was a little contretemps about the lyric.
Interesting.
True story. One time in Atlanta, I was at the Hard Rock Cafe, and Karen and Sarah from Bananarama were playing there. First time they'd been to America in ages, but they were doing a benefit show. Bananarama were playing a benefit show. Backstage, I was backstage. Sarah sat down and I massaged her feet. True story. This is probably 10 years ago. Massaging her feet, and she's telling me the story about making this song. They were I think the only female pop group that were invited to make the record. I'm pretty sure that's true. I see some other females there, but they were the only female group because they were pretty big at that time. I mean, they're huge. And they got, when they're recording the song, Sarah said they kept telling us to be quiet. And she said our vocals were overbearing, over louding, if you will, everyone around us. So they told us to tone it down. So she said, we can't even hear ourselves now. And we felt like we wasted 24 hours. But anyway, it's just a funny little anecdote there. But I love the song. I think it's great. Every time I hear it,
it's a good song.
I like it's been remade a few times as well.
Well, I like Simon Le Bon's part of it. I think Simon really knocks out the part.
Yeah. I can say I can understand. I can see where people can think that song was rather depressing or maybe not as jovial as a Christmas song should be, but it wasn't meant to be. And there are plenty of good Christmas songs that aren't, in fact, overly jovial. And there were a few. What was it? Dolly Parton's "Hard Candy Christmas" or something like that. That was one. I think the most depressing was David Geddes' "Christmas Shoes." If you've heard that one from the 70s.
I don't know. Old Lang Syne is pretty sad, and I like that song.
I like the Cliff Richard version. So,
I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? No. Old Lang Syne.
Not more cheese. Hey.
Well, I mean, but seriously, on the Old Lang Syne song, that's a very, the snow turned to rain or whatever it is, and all that. Saw my old lover in the store, and they get the 6-pack. And is the 6-pack a metaphor for having sex in the car? Is that what that's about? Because I don't know about.
No, a 6-pack is either your stomach muscles, isn't it? Or
well, that's what I'm talking about. It's like we got a 6-pack in the liquor store and we drank it in our cars. Like
no, a 6-pack in the liquor store. That's a 6-pack of Foster's beers or whatever your beers are.
I'm just reading into it. It's like the end of North by Northwest with the train going into the tunnel.
Yeah, I like that. She said, "You Americans do that." Yeah,
we do. Of course, it's
we read too much into things.
Speaking of Hitchcockian, Chris, one of the songs I hate, and I hope you will all join me in my hate and my disdain for this song, is Burl Ives' "Holly Jolly Christmas."
I like that one.
It's so old. They play it over and over.
Well, yeah,
it's good enough to see him host the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer special every year. And I feel very attuned with the Island of is it the Island of Misfit Toys? I feel very home on that.
There we go. Well, I'll tell you what, here's something very interesting. Yukon Cornelius was a man ahead of his time. Yes, first off, he always carried safely, knew when to use his weapon, and he knew that silver and gold were the way to go.
Yes, silver and gold. Right.
There you go.
That's right.
I still like the Heatmeister. Just saying.
Yeah.
I don't like the Heatmeister. He wasn't nice at all.
Well, the Coldmeister was a little stiff. So
I did a show the other day with Dave Hill from Slade. And Slade, and a fantastic Christmas song. Merry Christmas,
everyone.
Yeah, it's a brilliant song, and he's quite a character, Dave Hill. And he comes from, you'll recognise the accent, Tony, because he comes from the Midlands, where you went in Coventry, where they speak.
Oh, is that right?
They go up and down, and I think I'm being passed to glass of wine. Oh, look at the service here. Thank you from my lovely husband. The glass of wine. Fabulous. Thank you.
Magic.
Oh my goodness. And I've
Magical.
got a bottle suddenly, as if by magic. Telling you, good Lord. Well, anybody fancy a drop? I mean, I can't. We can talk online. We can do all sorts of things, share music, opinions, but we can't share glasses of wine. Oh, well, never mind.
I know.
I'll have to get shots of Jack Daniels for her by next time. So.
Well, now a Slade classic reminds me of this classic too, from Gary Glitter, Another Rock and Roll Christmas.
Gary Glitter.
Jamming out to that just the other day. Okay.
Never heard of him.
Did he do one from prison? Just like what's his name?
Yeah, he's
Like Folsom, the Folsom prison and all that.
Ooh,
I hear that train coming.
Is that a jumpsuit he's wearing? Oh my god!
The man dressed better than almost anybody during that era. Okay,
except for
Mr. Roper.
Except for Brian Ferry.
Mr. Roper.
Brian Ferry. Martin Ferry.
Brian Ferry. I saw. Does Roxy Music have a holiday song? I don't think they do.
I don't know. That's a good
Well,
question.
they probably do. Brian Ferry probably does.
I have to go back and check. I love Brian Ferry. Not literally.
Brian Ferry released a few new songs.
Not literally.
Not literally, but
No, Brian Ferry released quite a few new songs last year, actually, and they were really good. He hasn't lost it. He's an old guy, but he really hasn't lost it.
No, I saw him in concert 2 years ago in D.C. An amazing performance for a
Isn't
guy
he?
who's older than us.
He still has that incredible sex appeal as well, considering he's such a much older chap. He's definitely
married his son's girlfriend, for God's sake. He must have sex appeal.
See, there we go, right there.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. I'm completely serious.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And don't call me Shirley.
That's what I was going. That's paying the ferryman. Oh boy.
The thing about Gary Glitter, the thing about Gary Glitter, though, the most shocking thing really is that he got away with his antics as a paedophile for years and years and years. And it was an accidental glitch in his computer that got him caught. He was so cocky that he just took the computer to one of the shops in the UK and literally took it in. And as they went through it and scanned it to see what on earth was going on in there, they found all these images of images that should never be there, but images of him as well partaking, which was absolutely shocking.
So you're saying Gary Glitter was Hunter Biden before there was Hunter Biden. Is that
right? That's what I was just thinking. That Hunter Biden thought, I'm going to take my laptop just to get it fixed.
Oh, boy. Don't do that. If you have anything on your computer like that, don't do that. Okay, destroy it. If it's
pictures of prostitutes and smoking coke and bed. He's like, what?
No, I would say do go and do it so that these bastards can get caught.
Exactly.
I'm only kidding, but I was only kidding, by the way.
I know, but that's crazy.
Now,
he's out of jail now, right? He's out of prison.
Is he? I thought he was
again. I think he's out. Yeah.
Yeah. He served his time both in Thailand and Britain, as a matter of fact.
Right. I think he's advising Hunter Biden now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Now, with Slade and with Gary Glitter, you have to add in the parody of the glam rock bands and the bands of the '80s, those fake metal bands of the '80s that decided to put out a Christmas single just to make a few extra bucks. Now, I'm not sure if that's what they were doing because they're great songs, but cashing in on Christmas is one of my favorite classics from Bad News. I still contend Bad News was better than Spinal Tap.
Bad News is better than Spinal Tap.
That's right.
It does sound pretty negative.
I have not heard of that one.
No, I haven't heard
Is that on video now? Is it on? Where do you get this, Chris?
Well,
where do you get Bad News? I mean,
I actually have the album. Yeah, I have the album. But Bad News was from the comic strip Presents, where the band it was a mockumentary about a fake rock band, which involved Adrian Edmondson, who actually has his own band now. Rick Mayall, was a Richard Peterson, who was supposed to be Mike on the Young Ones, but he wasn't, and Nigel Planer. There we go. I think I got that right.
Nigel.
Jeremy, are you a musician?
Past musician, yes, ma'am. I used to beat things, so my parents gave me some drums. So yeah,
you were
back in my past life. Yeah, I don't own a pair now. I live in Florida. It's nice and quiet. Yeah, a lot of seniors around, so I don't beat things anymore. Plus, I don't have the coordination that I used to have. So,
You don't live at
but
the
thanks for
Villages, do
asking.
you?
No, but that's funny you say that. I've heard some interesting stories about the Villages.
You could beat a
I
lot
would
of things at the
never have
Villages. I'm
believed
just
it.
saying it's
Yeah.
very popular apparently.
Did you know that demographically at the Villages, and for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, the Villages is this community, several miles long, of where seniors will go to retire. So it's sort of like a retirement facility, and that's putting a small drop on a giant.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But anyway, the largest amount per demographic of square miles of STDs are reported.
There you go. I was about to bring it up.
Isn't that crazy?
That's right. Seniors and STDs. Imagine that. That's you don't hear those things together often.
To do, yeah.
Well, all right. Think about this though. A lot of these guys are right before the free love era, or around then. So maybe.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that at all. I think that we've got the same sort of thing here in the UK. I think it's more to do with the fact that you can't get pregnant anymore. You don't have the responsibility and worries of all of those things. So the women are kind of, if they're all retired, they're menopausal or postmenopausal, the guys can go and buy Viagra like there's no tomorrow and can make sure they can still have some action. And I think that there is that. I think they're liberated as well because you can go online and find who you want. You know, if you want a tall, slim, whatever guy or woman or whatever, you can find it. It's all there. And there are so many lonely people. And the other side of it as well is, what's wrong if you've got individuals who are lonely, who want to get together, have some sex, have some fun, and they both agree that's what they want to do. The only trouble is, of course, that they might be doing a little bit too often or not keeping things clean enough. Or so. I don't know.
Well, I think it's great. No, I think. Why not? I mean, but I don't think the old guys look like Patrick Stewart, unfortunately. I'm just saying, I don't think they all look like that.
Or Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood still looks good at 80, whatever he is.
No, 90. He's 90. He's 90.
90? Yeah, he still looks good. Yeah. But I digress.
Just saying, I don't know. Look, the older you can do it, the better off you're going to be. It's good because it helps create the conditions for human growth hormones, which keeps you young.
Can I just take this very quickly? Well, in fact, he's a star of it. This is Peter Straker. Can you hear?
Yes, take that one and mute out, and we'll come back in when as we move forward.
Thank you, Peter.
While we're talking about this, though,
on a Zoom in I think. Is it New York? Where are you, Chris? Somewhere in America, anyway.
We're across the country.
Okay for the show for tomorrow, by any chance, please?
Yeah, but the trouble is you're talking about 3:00.
All right, we're gonna we'll let Dawn back in a few moments here, see if she's good.
Yes. Let's go back to the STDs.
Yes, let's go.
I thought we were talking about Christmas music. Wait a minute.
Oh, that's right. Off topic.
Maybe it's a little of both here, but here you go.
Well, I think
Christmas music. Oh boy.
Well, Dean Martin. I guess that's a good survey to do sometime, Chris. Whose songs is the most likely potential for actually catching an STD? The Dean Martin songs or Bing Crosby songs? I think it's a good survey to do.
Or maybe a Gary Glitter song.
Annie Lennox songs.
Oh, fuck.
Or something like that. Anyway, this is our Outhouse Lounge Christmas special. In case you're wondering, we're talking about some other things here. How about the old Christmas compilations from the 70s and 80s? Those great albums from back then. I found one that I really enjoyed, and I played a lot of music from. It's IRS's "Just in Time for Christmas."
IRS.
Yeah, IRS, and that was another great compilation of great music. One of my favorite songs is in that one. Two of them, actually. Two of my favorite Christmas songs.
That's fine as well. And I'll be.
One of them is Dred Zeppelin's version of "All I Want for Christmas Is My Two Front Teeth." But the other one is Wall of Voodoo's "I Shouldn't Have Given Him a Gun for Christmas."
Oh, I love Wall of Voodoo.
Oh, I've never heard that one.
Song.
I should not have given him a gun for Christmas.
Yep,
I gotta look that up.
Yep, it all began with Uncle Jack. He made a crack and wouldn't take it back.
Wow, I gotta find.
Oh my gosh!
Dad was drinking, and then you know what? It just went down from there. Let's put it that way. Yes, I shouldn't have given him a gun for Christmas. Dawn, I think he came back at the right time.
that? A gun for Christmas.
From Wall of Voodoo.
Wow.
And it was Andy Preboy out front, by the way.
Well, I mean, I know that in the US there is obviously a gun culture, but it's something that is so alien to us. It's just
really.
Oh gosh, absolutely.
I'm sitting here right now with literally a dozen guns around.
Go Tony.
No, I'm serious. I mean,
I
come
know
on, Uncle Ted. Well, come on, Nancy. We're friends with Uncle Ted. So
I know. It's his birthday today. He's 75.
Well, happy birthday to the great Ted Nugent.
Happy birthday to.
Today's his birthday. Cool.
Yeah.
They're bringing back Miami. Nancy, does Ted know they're working on Where the Buses Don't Run, another episode for the new. So he'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry I'm getting off track, but they're looking at doing a new Miami Vice. Apparently, James Olmos maybe even come back to it would be good. Lieutenant Castillo. So. I'm saying things I shouldn't say about things that are going on. Sorry.
No worries. It's all good because you learn about other things besides just Christmas songs here on the Outhouse Lounge. Remember, this is where we relax and talk about stuff. I do want to add one more thing. Since I have Dawn here from the Legacy chart, there are a lot of good. There's a lot of great new Christmas music coming from artists of our eras, the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and I do want to acknowledge some of them as well. We talked about
also some dreadful new music, and I won't name the artists, but there is some dreadful new music that how it's got into the chart, I'll never know. One of the songs was put forward to my Jukebox Judgment show, which is a show where top world record producers join me on a Friday morning, and we critique all the latest new music.
Nice.
And say one of them just made me choke, and I couldn't believe that this well-known band that I've been to see even quite recently, who are beltingly good, actually was stupid enough to put this track out. It's just awful. Anyway, but I won't name them.
Oh, that was my next question. Who is it?
They may not see this. Fingers crossed.
Okay.
The Vapors.
Okay.
Oh,
really?
I always like the Vapors. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, was it about turning Japanese or something?
Yes.
Turning Canadian, I think, is the Christmas version, right?
Wearing a toque. That's right.
So we're not turning Japanese anymore.
I do want to say, and Nancy, I know you're here, but I do want to say I had the honor of interviewing your sister several times on Revenge of the 80s Radio, Susie, of course.
You did?
And I do want to acknowledge that a couple of years ago, she put together a really great Christmas song. And I really enjoyed it. I want to give that a shout, my heart and my soul. Excuse me. Get that read properly because I'm very nearsighted. My heart and soul. I Need You Home for Christmas. It's a beautiful song. She's wearing all white in the video, and it's very different from from a lot of the other, almost all the other songs she's done, but it's a beautiful Christmas song.
I'll have to look at it. I've never even seen it.
It's a beautiful song, but there are a lot of artists from our era putting out some nice new Christmas music over the years. I know. Yeah. I guess what is it, Jeremy? Maybe 8-10 years ago or a little more. Wang Chung put out "Merry Christmas, Everyone." That was a good one.
They did, and ABC released a Christmas That We Deserve back in 2016. Yeah, it's got some funny lyrics in there, but Martin Fry being as suave as always.
He seems like a cool guy. Yeah, I'd like to meet him someday. He seems like
very cool guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that man has cool suits too.
Yeah.
I once saw him pull a CD out of his pocket wearing shorts on the sidewalk, wearing shorts. We were going to a radio station to play one of his tracks, or they had him in for an interview, and he wanted to play some new music. Pulls it out of his pocket, no CD case, no sleeve. He blows the lint right off and dusts it off his shirt, and we take it to the studio. It's the funniest thing. He's such a laid back, non-pop star kind of guy, but then on stage cool. You see this big Vegas star. What a dichotomy! He's a pretty cool guy.
No, anyway. I did get to meet him backstage once, and I think that's thanks to you too, Jeremy, because I think you got us to meet. You got him on my show, my old Revenge of the 80s show, and we got to talking, and we got to meet him backstage. During the show, he wore this really cool burnt orange suit. I have to have one of those. Backstage, wearing regular clothes, regular guy. He's really cool guy. Nice fellow.
Yes. We could have a whole show on Martin Fry anecdotes. I could tell you some hilarious things, but not to expose them. It's just some funny things that we happen.
I think we should do that.
That's funny you say that. ABC now, to me, are bigger than they've ever been. Like watching them, mapping them, where they're playing these days, South Africa, Lithuania, some tropical island off the coast of Hawaii. I mean, they're just everywhere. And ABC's last record, this is phenomenal, debuted at number 5 on the British. What is the BPI? I'm not sure what the chart is, but it debuted at number 5. And then a couple of weeks ago, OMD, not to take away from ABC, but theirs debuted at number 1. I mean, that should give you a clue about either the music is really good or our generation has a lot of money and we're throwing it at these artists and buying these records and taking them to the top. Or maybe we're just craving new nostalgia, if there's such a thing as that.
Exactly.
No, I think it's a style of music. I think a lot of the people on the legacy chart, I know Jen's been on the legacy chart lately, and I think a lot of the music that it just has a classic quality to it. So.
Well, the other thing is in America, the radio stations and the record companies are very. Let's put it this way: back in our day, the radio stations would play music and make the hits. Basically, they would make the artists and everything else.
Right.
Nowadays, they don't play something until it's deemed a hit by the industry, and that's another issue altogether. And this is why a lot of great music is not going to be heard on major radio stations at this point in America, and probably moving forward.
And that's where a show like Dawn's is so important, because she's introducing the work and the craftsmanship of the people that we're familiar with, and saying, here, we're not just going to frame them back in the 70s, not going to frame them back in the 80s. Look, they've developed we got some new projects, some new music, and I want to present it to you. And people are coming to her show and listening to that and saying, oh, I had no idea the Vapors, had any new. I thought they were done. I thought they were retired. Are they even alive?
They've had some great new tracks, but that just the Christmas one is just, it didn't hit the nail on the head there. It wasn't a good one. With regard to what you're saying about the legacy chart and all of the artists, they genuinely are, I think, some of them writing and performing the best music they've ever performed. And so it's discerning music. It's a discerning audience who wants to listen to that music, but also it's revived their careers as well to be able to go back out on the road, because the people who've got disposable income are the people who were there in the 80s, who loved these people and were their fans to start with and supported them right at the start of their careers. And those are the people out there in their 50s and 60s that are happy to spend money to go anywhere to go and see these amazing acts. It's good fun.
Yeah. And that's where the artists are making their money, is by playing gigs, not selling records or music downloads anymore, MP3 files, is playing an audience, and then they'll get a percentage of tickets sold and that sort of thing. But that's where the money is. So if you're healthy and you're from that generation, I encourage you to make up whatever, put aside whatever differences you had with your bandmates, but get together, practice, get a good promoter, and get out on the road, because you can make some cash.
That's right. There's no more VH1 reuniting the bands anymore, so you have to do it yourself at this point. We have to wind down. We have to wind down. So we've talked about a lot. Anybody who's listening and watching, if we forgot a song or something you'd like to mention, put it in the comments there. Also, let's do a round robin. If we forgot something that you wanted to bring up as far as a cool Christmas song, what do you think? Tony, let's start with you, since I'm doing the round robin.
No, I think this has been great. I just wish we had more time. This is actually enjoyable, and I think we had to do more shows on Jeremey and Don. We mentioned we've been talking amongst ourselves about doing. Nancy, you were on that broadcast with us when we talked about doing something on 80s and 70s and 80s shows. Remember, we talked about that.
Yep.
We'd love to do more of this. Where we talk about some of the great songs and how some of the trends. And it's just things like that would be great, because I think it's not about nostalgia. I think it's about the fact that during the 70s and 80s, it was just a different time. And I think, I don't know if it was simpler or not. I mean, the Cold War was going on, but these sorts of conversations, I think, just helps highlight what great music it was, and how a lot of people, to your point, Jeremey, need to come back and start making it again now. So,
Yes.
Well, that's so we have all of season 2 of the program, so that's coming up straight ahead in 2024.
Well, I think this has absolutely zipped by really, really quickly. And I'm sorry I was taken away by a phone call, but that was the fabulous Peter Straker. Do Google him. And last week, you were saying about any songs that we missed. Well, there's a beautiful rendition of Merry Christmas, Darling, done by Boy George.
Oh.
And I was doing a show live on my breakfast show last week, and I got a phone call, and I hung up on the call because it was going out on air live. And I just said, whoever this is, I'm very sorry, I can't take your call because I'm live on air right now. Clunk. And I just sort of switched off. And then I get this message, a voicemail on WhatsApp. It's me, you silly cow. It's Boy George. I just thought I'd phone you up and have a chat.
Oh my God.
And then he left a lovely message. Is there a chat on here where I could put the audible message across to you? Or can you share sound on this, Chris, or anything like that?
There's a way to do that here. I'd have to kind of dig around. If I had it ahead of time, I'd be able to put it right on. So maybe we can do that for the next program.
Oh, okay, but it's a lovely message where he says that I've single-handedly saving the world of music for his generation and all the artists like him and so on. And then he finishes it. Cool. We love you, Dawn Parry. It's just so sweet. But
that's cool.
Such a funny guy. He really is.
He really is very funny. And I met up with him over the weekend, actually. In fact, I put up the Blockheads this weekend to stay as well over the weekend. But I met up with Boy George on Saturday, and he's just scream. He's just so much fun. And he was doing Hook, Captain Hook in the pantomime, Peter Pan. He's never done it before.
Oh, yeah.
And I initially, when we went to this pantomime, I was thinking, why are you having it in a massive sports arena? This is crazy. And it is the biggest pantomime I've ever seen. It's all hanging on wires and all sorts of things. Everybody's flying around the stage and stuff. Anyway, about not long after the start of it, when you get introduced to Hook, this enormous ship it's huge, and it's like a big dragon and so on. It comes out into the audience and goes around through the audience and back. And that was why he needed an arena. You could never stage anything like that.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
It was incredible.
And what was the name of that Christmas song you said, Dawn, that he did?
Merry Christmas, Darling. He's actually
I do like that
Merry
song.
Christmas, Darling.
Yeah,
I haven't heard Boy George do it, but I do love that song.
Well, his vocal is just lovely. Nancy, I have to say, you sound so much like your sister when you speak.
I know everybody says that. Right, actually, we do sound a lot alike, and we have the same sense of humor. We're very alike in a lot of ways and very unalike in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we definitely sound alike. I hear it all the time. Anyone who knows her, especially, they're like, "Who am I talking to? Is this Susie?"
Yeah, you do. You sound just virtually identical.
Yeah, it's weird. I know.
And there was one question. Sorry about this. And this is your show's over now, though, isn't it? The recording bit.
No,
he's still recording.
On. We didn't even do the closeout here.
No, he's trying to close it out.
I think it's now the Dawn Parry Legacy Lounge. There we go. That's perfect. I'm in for that, Nancy. I'm in for that, guys. What's your question?
It's just that I'm fascinated by so many things to do because it's so different to everything, in the UK. And one of the things was, and you all sort of just skipped past it like it was nothing. And I was desperate to ask Tony. You mentioned you just suddenly picked up a gun and there it was, and you put it back along with a whole, and everybody said, "Oh yeah, there we go," and you carry on.
Used to it.
And I'm just like, what? And I want to know.
Used to it.
Yeah, but that's just so bizarre.
Yeah, but what don't you get about it? What?
Yeah. This is interesting.
I think it's because we don't have it. I suppose because here, firstly,
I know what you're saying, but here's the thing: most people that own guns, and we have them. Yeah. Most people that own guns are responsible gun owners.
Yes, I'm sure.
Right.
Nobody is going out there killing anyone. It's not like it's protection for your home. I'm telling you something right now. If someone's coming into my house, I'm popping a cap in their ass. That's the bottom line.
There you go.
That's just the bottom line.
And we celebrate Christmas here. And
well, it's perfect. I mean, full disclosure. Let me, Don, just to let you know, my radio show is sponsored by the Gunmaker 6 Hour. So
yes,
you know, I literally will highlight.
And
we did a special with them.
Let's do a close up on Tony here.
So what do you use them for?
We're doing a close up. We're doing a close up on Tony with the guns now. That's
really?
Yeah.
You do know that I actually am a retired spy, right? I mean, I don't use them for that now, but they're for personal protection, and I'm still a member of law enforcement in the state of Virginia, so I actually have to go do advisory and support to Homeland Security. Our system is different than your system. Our system allows for people in a variety of statuses to be armed and prepared. And so I've got body armor within a short distance. I've got an AR style platform over there. And you know, there's no crime in our area here. So
no. Well, no, it'd be too scary, wouldn't it?
No, not really. It doesn't stop a lot of crime. I don't think guns stop a lot of crime. The wrong people have guns. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where the crime comes from. It's the wrong. It's you know, it's just the wrong people. But 98% of gun owners are responsible. That's the bottom line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the truth.
Yeah. I mean, my husband would have an arsenal if we had the money, and he wouldn't do anything with them. He doesn't do anything with them, but he would love having them. So it is a different mentality than England. I was shocked.
That's right.
When
so Don, you know, my Bond moment. I'm a retired, so you know, we did a thing a few years ago for the International Spy Museum in D.C., and we all had to come in as former real spies and do kind of an assessment of a James Bond, like I had to do Casino Royale, the new one, not the old one. David Niven in a toupee was great, but I think Daniel Craig with a gun is better. Just saying.
Yes.
If you're going to compare the two. And I had to assess that, you know, the beginning of that. And plus my Bond moment, my actual Bond moment is in the Spy Museum, where I have to do something creative. I won't ruin it for everybody. You can go on the internet and find it. And I used to joke with Mike Pompeo when he was director of CIA. I had to come up with a Bond moment that didn't involve me shooting somebody. Just saying, if we did that sort of thing. So,
yeah, of course.
And Merry Christmas, by the way.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, Chris, I think it'd be a great idea to have a group, this group on again, to do something like, kind of like this, only cover songs.
Okay, then let's do that. Okay, that's good. Maybe we should lead off. Maybe we should lead off season 2 with that and bring in a couple of other people and have some fun with some cover songs. What do you think?
Which ones were great? You know, or our opinion. It's opinion.
There are so many cover songs out there.
Oh my God.
It's going to be that show could go forever. So let's put that up for season 2. But let's also keep up our Christmas special. And I haven't heard from Nancy, Jeremy, and Elizabeth about maybe a song we might have passed over at this point.
So I'll just jump in real quick. My husband is a professional musician. He grew up. He lived in Ireland in the late 60s, 70s, early 80s. And he was saying by far his favorite Christmas song is by U2, and it's called Christmas. I don't know if anybody's ever heard it, but
it's a remake.
It's a remake. But anyway, so that's an awesome song. Yep, U2.
That is a good one.
I like Natalie Cole and Mariah Carey. I think did some great ones.
Mm-hmm.
See, I always go back to way before you guys. So
that's okay.
It's okay. That's why we're all here, because
Natalie Cole is a great voice,
right? And Natalie Cole's fantastic.
Yeah, there's a song that I like, but I don't know if it's a Christmas song. But when I heard it, it sounds as if it had come from a movie, perhaps. Just like we talked about instrumental bands like Mannheim Steamroller, Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
There's a group called the Future Bible Heroes. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. An independent group spinoff of a band called the Magnetic Fields. They're from Canada. Anyway, Future Bible Heroes, I had one of their EPs. It was released at the College Station. I got my hands on it. There's an instrumental in there, and it's called Seeing Berlin on $10 a Day. I have no idea what that's about. But anyway, the song, it uses like a pipe organ, cathedral pipe organs, handbells, and this really deep synthesizer. And it sounds like a Christmas instrumental. I would have swore it was. When I saw the name of it, I said, that can't be the right song. But yeah, that was the name of it. Something about seeing Berlin on $10 a day. But anyway, I don't know if it's a Christmas song. I don't know if it's sort of a tongue-in-cheek. I don't know what the meaning is behind the title. But if you hear it, close your eyes, and you too will be taken down some city visionary city landscape in December 25th, pick your year, 43. It's just really pretty.
I love
it's like it's like the Bob and Doug McKenzie song. If you close your eyes and listen to the 12 Days of Christmas, you think you're in Canada.
Isn't that great?
That's right.
Isn't that great?
A beer in a tree. That sounds good.
Are they still living, by the way? I don't know.
Yeah, they're still around.
They're still around. Yeah.
Wait a minute. I can't wait to listen to that.
Huh.
Now I have to as well. So now you enlightened us again, Jeremy.
Yeah,
Jeremy, that's cool.
The EP is called I think it's called Lonely Days.
Lonely Days.
Was, yeah, bands don't put out EPs anymore. Most people have no idea what that is, but it's a smaller form. But anyway, it's an EP, 4 or 5 songs. But that was one of the.
Yes.
You do, yes, you do.
Yep. All right. So
because my son's band had to put a couple of those out.
Oh. So here's what we're going to do. Season 2, we're going to regroup here and do some cover songs. Now, let's keep spreading some Christmas cheer. I want to thank all of you for being here, and thanks for doing the Christmas special, the Outhouse Lounge Christmas special. Hope you all enjoyed that. If you like what we did, please comment, put a like, and spread the word, because it's a lot of fun with these guys. So let's do that, and join us for Season 2 in 2024. Happy holidays, everybody. Thanks for being with us on the Outhouse.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Thank you, Chris. Take care.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.